Hello, JD. Nice to meet with you today.
Appreciate you
Thank
having
you.
me on.
Thank you for giving me 5 or 10 minutes of your day.
Oh, no worries.
We're gonna start. Just explain to me a typical day in the life of JD, especially when you have an IFC meeting.
Cool. Yeah. So usually I'll try to wake up around 10:30. I'm not too much of a morning guy. Definitely prefer getting my work done in the afternoon and at night. I'll shower, kind of get ready for the day by 11-ish, and then once it's 11:15, I start checking my emails, kind of see what's on top for the day and what I have to start thinking about for the upcoming days. Around 11:15, 11:30, I'll make an agenda of the things I need to get done on the day in order of importance, so I can kind of start crossing stuff off as I get down my list. Start setting up IFC stuff for our meeting that night, filling out meeting minutes on kind of my talking points, telling guys in the fraternity what needs to get done, like going to social risk management trainings or working on certain committee chair assignments, and make lunch really quickly, and then I usually work on that stuff for about 2 hours, and then I have class 2 to 4, Biz 419. I'm a marketing management major, and that's one of the quantitative analysis marketing classes. Then I have an asynchronous class from 4 to 6, so usually try to finish that up by about 5:30 though, so I have about half an hour to chill out before I have my IFC meeting, so I'll just come into my house's sunroom, hang out with my roommates, watch some sports, and just kind of take a little breather during the day. Then we have our IFC executive board meeting from 6 to 7, where we kind of talk about what we've been up to the last 2 weeks and kind of stuff we have planned for the future. After that, we meet with all of the IFC presidents. I'm also hold that position, so I'm already in the meeting as well. And we kind of go over just what we talked about in our exec board meeting, and each chair gives their different spiel on kind of what they had planned. Then after that meeting gets done at 8, I'll try to make some dinner and then kind of plan out what I have going on the next day. I usually work on Wednesdays, which is the day after my IFC meetings, and so I'll lay out what I have for work, try to get some philosophy homework that do the next day, and yeah, that's what a typical day in the life looks like.
Well, thank you. It's a pretty busy day. I wouldn't even know. Being your roommate, I wouldn't know all the things you did.
Most definitely.
All right. So my next question is, how has your daily schedule changed over the past 2 months? Or I guess just since you become an IFC chair and since you become president.
Yeah, definitely my days became a lot more jam-packed. I feel like my mind was always somewhere because of the nature of kind of always having things due in the future. It's hard to really settle down and kind of think about one thing because there were so many different long-term goals and ideas in the back of my mind. So it's definitely been a change from kind of a mellow fall quarter to really ramping it up this quarter, but I think I need it as I kind of get more towards my professional career and whatever I may do.
Do you think that this more set schedule or things that you have to do has benefited you as a student and as a person, or do you think it's a little bit harder to adjust?
It's definitely a learning curve, so I'm still adjusting. It's definitely been stressful these first couple of weeks, really kind of understanding the load of everything that I have to do. So I've been super stressed the last couple of weeks, but as I kind of get into the groove of things, I think once we kind of get guys in the fraternity more on board with what our plan is for the year, I think the stress levels will go down. But it's definitely, yeah, kept me busy.
Speaking of the fraternity, how do you think your social life has differed from last quarter, or just from your experience at Cal Poly so far?
Yeah, obviously COVID has played a big role in that, so just trying to stay safe and limit the spread and not do too many outside activities, especially nothing within the fraternity because we're not allowed to do that. So it's definitely been a change, and this quarter I've just been pretty much work, school, extracurriculars, and that's really all I've had time for. I haven't done too much this quarter, but I mean, hopefully as the vaccine gets rolled out, things start to kind of get back to normal and we can resume our normal social life. But yeah, things have definitely taken an interesting turn since COVID.
From a little different perspective, how do you think being on IFC and being the president has affected your schoolwork?
It's definitely taken a lot of time out that I would have maybe have used to work for school, because I used to be a big time go to the library at 10 at night and work on it for about 3 at work until about midnight or 1 in the morning because I just work better at night. But now that I can't go to the library, It's kind of taken that part of my day out and made me get my stuff done during the day, but that's also when I'm trying to do IFC stuff and president stuff, and so I would definitely say it's taken away a little bit from my schoolwork. I obviously haven't forgotten that I'm still here to be a student and get an education, but I definitely haven't been as motivated school-wise this quarter. That could also just kind of be a factor of online and having to do everything over Zoom is pretty unmotivating.
All right. Yeah. Tell me how you think, or if you could give me an example, how you think you've grown as a person over this period.
Yeah, I've definitely become better with like networking and following up and having to be on top of reaching out to several different people for several different things and having to schedule a couple different meetings a week with people. And so, yeah, I've definitely become a little bit more organized in that sense, and it's kind of helped me grow and prepare for whatever the future holds for me.
All right. And my last question is now, well, our project, our group project is mainly focused on DEI. So you being the VP chair of DEI for IFC, how do you feel your, maybe not necessarily views have changed, but how has your mind been open to more things in DEI now that you're the chair?
Yeah, so honestly, the reason I wanted to be the chair was because a lot of racial issues kind of got brought to light in this past year, and it really kind of woke me up to wanting to take a stand and really be a part of it. And I definitely from there was interested in trying to create a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive environment at Cal Poly. And I thought the best way to do that was through IFC. And so it's been a learning process. Obviously, I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm just working the position because I know that I can put my best foot forward and try to learn about it as much as I possibly can. So I'm always kind of a work in progress. I'm always going to be attending workshops and having meetings and learning more about it. But I think that with kind of where we're trying to head as an IFC, I think things are looking pretty good as we kind of make it a more in-chapter project for people to really promote diversity and inclusion within chapters.
Well, thank you very much. I may contact you to maybe some follow-up questions when I go a little further in the interview or in the writing process. But thank you for giving me your, let's see, 7.5 minutes helping me out for this project. So
yeah, no worries. I appreciate your time, Mr. Siegel.
Yeah.
It was an honor.
Thanks.